I went to a fight last night, and a hockey game broke out. This is a joke I once heard about a sport I've loved for over 30 years. Many in hockey would like to see fighting banished completely. Hockey is currently the only sport that allows fighting by imposing only a 5-minute penalty on the player for fighting. But a new instigator rule has cropped up in recent years. The instigator rule says that if one person starts a fight, that person gets a game misconduct and will miss that game and the following game. But who starts a fight? Is it the player who throws the first punch or the player who needs a punch? Players in the NHL are now reluctant to police themselves. This has created a new state of chippiness, which refers to the players using their sticks to defend themselves from incoming bodies and attacks on their person. This chippiness has caused a new rash in the NHL of teeth injuries, eye injuries, and concussions to the head from hits from behind. What happens when the brand new 165-pound forward that you just signed for $7 million a year is laid out with a season-ending injury? I'll tell you. Your team season is over as well. You can kiss the playoffs goodbye. That's exactly what happened to the New York Rangers when they signed Wayne Gretzky in 1996. Gretzky was considered to be the best player in the world, and still is today. And he was laid out with a season-ending injury. Gretzky was hit on purpose by a man who knew there would be no retaliation for his actions. A 230-pound man succeeded in taking a 165-pound legend off of the ice. With no repercussions for his actions, the best player in the world was forced to sit and watch. Hockey is an extremely fast-paced and agile sport. Some of the best players in the world are under 200 pounds. The grace, skill, and the exertion of the game cause some of the best skilled players to be smaller. This opens roster spots on the team for players who are simply more physical and not necessarily there to score goals. These players are there to intimidate and to inflict punishment on the opposing team's goal scorers. Often players get to the NHL for this reason, intimidation rather than goal scoring. These players are there to stop the best players from scoring the goals. But hockey, being around for over 100 years, has invented its own way of dealing with this problem. The arms race developed, where teams would alternately get larger and larger in order to make sure they had gentlemen to protect from the other team's goons. Early in Gretzky's career, Edmonton purchased the services of Marty McSorley. Marty McSorley was 245 pounds of grit and muscle, and he made sure nobody messed with the 165-pound Gretzky. McSorley did his job so well that when Gretzky was traded to the Los Angeles Kings, McSorley was too. Gretzky would go nowhere without his enforcer. McSorley was the bodyguard to the best player ever to play hockey. McSorley kept Wayne Gretzky safe for over 14 years. When Wayne Gretzky was traded to the New York Rangers in 1996, McSorley did not follow. The new instigator rule was passed in an attempt to ban fighting in the NHL. Marty McSorley, tied up in legal battles for intent to injure, knew that the new NHL rule would cause the end of his career. This new rule caused players like Gretzky to defend himself from incoming attacks. Skilled players tried to use their sticks to fend off would-be attackers. The sole reason for chippiness in the sport today is the lack of enforcers to protect the skilled athletes. Star players unsuccessful in defending themselves ended up injured for long periods of time because they could not use stick work to fend off the tremendous bodies coming their way. The increase in eye and head injuries has left our sport with less skilled players, not more. The rule was given to us to increase the skill in hockey. This has not happened. Imagine an NHL where people glide to victory with skill and precision, and they're allowed to do that because of the enforcers who keep it that way, with their fists. Enforcers fight to defend your star player. Enforcers fight to keep the other team's enforcers respectful so that your players can defend their star players. The instigator rule has effectively removed the delicate balance that has evolved in hockey for over a century. The removal of the instigator rule would allow this balance to return. A player's ability to shoot, score goals, and defend with the stick must be gone forever. We must repeal the instigator rule now. We must allow the natural balance of the sport to return. Goal scorer, defenseman, goalie, or enforcer, we must allow the skills of the athletes to decide the outcome of the game, not limiting rules, injuries, or sticks to the face, but just good old bare-knuckle hockey.